Welcome to Birdland. Orange and black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up. Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to Birdland. You know what's up. Welcome to Birdland. Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearingly serving host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt. How's your week been?
Well, better than the Orioles. Let's say that much.
Yeah.
We said as long as injuries don't happen, we'll be okay, and we got some injuries to get into this week.
Yeah, but at least we're not the Yankees.
I don't know. People dropping like flies, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. We've got some major things to be concerned about, and we'll get into all that.
Okay.
We took last week off. Do you think that was the problem?
Maybe. I was traveling, and I was not in a situation, small hotel room shared by, 5 of us, 3 kids. Just not ideal situation for recording podcasts. But I went to the West Coast. I went to Arizona, to the Grand Canyon. We went to Phoenix. We were busy, man. We went to Phoenix. Then we went to Sedona. Then we went to the Grand Canyon and stayed kind of in the national park. And then we went to Tucson and then back to Phoenix. So all in 7 days. So we jammed it in there.
You kept pretty busy.
Yeah.
Out there.
I realized traveling, every time I travel, I realize how much I love to travel. I love all of it. Even with, a kid screaming in the on the plane, which and Flora did. She was pretty good, but she screamed for about, 10 minutes. Like when we took off, and maybe 10 minutes at the end, which is not too bad for a 3.5 hour flight. But 10 minutes of screaming baby, it does feel like an hour. And that poor kid on the ride back, the poor kid, because when she screamed, she was like kicking the crap out of the kid in front of her, and it was like a 13-year-old kid. I felt bad for him. But other than that, it was a really good. I feel bad for the trip.
I feel bad for everyone on that flight.
Yeah, what can you do? Yeah, and most people are like real sympathetic, kind of sorry. The kid was irritated, but he was 13. I'll be irritated too.
Right.
But the parents of the kid were kind of sympathetic. But that's what the kid gets for choosing a window seat.
Sure. They don't have an option on there where you can choose to be away from babies. I wish you could.
Yeah, they should throw all the babies in their own little section on an airplane. Yes. And like have it like a soundproof room where you can just throw all the babies in there until the flight's over, and then you retrieve them.
I mean, there should be something where when I pick my seat, it tells me, do you want to be near a kid?
Yeah.
Or, do you want to be near a screaming baby that we have scheduled for here?
Yeah. I mean, Southwest, because they're barbarians and you don't have assigned seats. And I hate
did you fly Southwest?
One way we did Southwest, American the other way. And when we flew Southwest, they have like boarding for families. Yeah. And so all the families board together.
Yes, I think that's ridiculous.
Well, and at that point, it's not the first section. We're like the third section that was led on the plane. And so the first half of the plane's taken. So if you want kind of open rows, you got to go to the back. And so just naturally, all the families went way in the back. So in Southwest, it actually worked out where all the kids were in the back together because that's where the open seats were.
I see. But no, I'm with you. I love traveling. I think I have in the next 3 months, I've got like 4 or 5 trips planned. 2 to locations I've never been, so I'm excited to travel as well.
Yeah, I'd been to Arizona maybe 11 years ago, but it's been a while. And I also got to go to, Josh, have you ever been to Chase Field? They're the Arizona Diamondback Stadium.
I have not been to Chase Field.
Okay. I got to pay $25 to have Gary walk me around the stadium, give me a tour. It was pretty interesting. They got the, I don't know what's notable about the Diamondback Stadium. It's got a retractable roof. Yeah.
Right.
But like they're not allowed to open or close it when anyone's in the stadium. So like,
right. It's a safety thing. You have to choose ahead of time.
Though Gary was very skeptical about the safety concerns. He said it's all a bunch of BS. but that's what Gary thinks at least.
I would agree with that because I believe I've seen the Sky Dome move mid-game.
Yeah.
Like, a storm's coming in or something.
Well, I guess the fire department came and said that because the stadium's old now. It's like 28 years old or something. And Gary was like,
Tampa Bay's got the same rule.
Yeah. Well,
they can only open up for hurricanes.
Yeah, that can't close anymore. It only stays open. But Gary was like, the guy who runs has been running the thing since the stadium was first open. And
He's like the only guy that knows.
Yeah, and Gary said that this guy said, if anything ever falls from that dome or anything ever happens to that dome, I will give back all my money of my working here over the past 28 years or whatever. So Gary was adamant that his guy was adamant. But they put little shelves underneath the dome just this year in case anything falls off. It just falls on the little shelf.
Then it sounds like Gary's not so confident.
Well, no, that's what the fire marshal made them do.
Gotcha.
Because they refused to put a new roof on it.
So it was a cool tour. Show you the clubhouse and everything.
Yeah. We got to go in the press box. It's pretty cool. We got to go in. Silas was infatuated with the suites. He thought the suites were awesome.
How many references to Corbin Burns during your tour?
I tell you what, you walk in the stadium store. That's what we did while we were waiting. And the first thing it hits you right when you walk in, Corbin Burns jerseys. Right when you walk in. I sent you a picture. That's like hits you in the face right when you walk in. It's oh, hello, Corbin. Yeah. So that was annoying.
Did you buy one?
No, I didn't buy one. I thought about buying. Josh, what are your thoughts on buying? Like, Silas bought a hat, and I think he bought a cool Arizona Diamondbacks hat. I think it's cool when you're 7 to buy hats. I thought about getting a hat. Am I allowed to have a Diamondbacks hat? Are you allowed to get other teams' hats and wear them?
You are
now as a grown man.
You are, but when would you wear it? Is the thing is instead what I do is I get the team baseball and team mini bat because then I can just display them on my wall.
Okay, well here's the problem with that, Josh. Can I tell you a problem with that?
What's the problem?
I bought a mini bat and then I was at the. I was purchasing it.
You forgot my warning. Remember, this happened to me in Toronto.
Oh, this did happen to you in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, it happened to me in Arizona.
Did they say took it away?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought 2 because they had a deal. You buy 1, you get another one for $5. I was like, well, let's buy 2. You give 1 to your sister.
Let's go. You said, let's buy 2. Let's take down 2 airplanes.
Yeah. And those little stupid mini bats.
Yeah. They take them away.
They took them away. They threw them in the trash can at security at the airport.
Exactly. I had this thought. For Christmas, Kelly replaced my Toronto one with one she ordered off the internet.
Okay.
And I had the same thought because we're going to Boston in a couple months. And I'm not planning to check a bag. And there's no way I'm checking a bag just for that stupid little bat. Yeah,
it's true. You can't get a bat, though.
It's a problem.
Let's remind each other not to buy the bat at the
no bats.
Yeah. Because I would bring one up for Silas, but no, I can't do it.
Yes.
So that's
You forgot my warning. Yeah, you forgot that I already got screwed.
Okay, that was a while ago, but you're right. Yeah. I should have remembered that. I just didn't want to think a mini bat would hold things up with that.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things. A laptop could do more damage than that mini bat swinging it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I could pull out many things out of my bag that would cause more damage.
Yeah. No, we lost about $40 going through security on the way out. Because we also had, I don't know how we had a bunch of suntan lotion too, for some reason. And so that got confiscated, and that stuff's not cheap. So whatever, that's annoying. But the stadium tour was cool. Silas was not that upset because he had the hat, so it wasn't just the bats.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we got the hat too. But what I noticed about, and they won a World Series against the Yankees, so it was fun seeing all the memorabilias of them kind of beating the Yankees and the lineup card of. And
you can appreciate it when it's a team that isn't in your division, isn't a game you lost.
Yeah, it's Diamondbacks.
Exactly.
It was a little bit annoying. There was a large, there was probably 30 people on this tour, and there was a large kind of extended family of about 10 people, huge Dodger fans, and with a bunch of kids chanting "Let's go Dodgers" throughout the tour.
That's annoying.
For a Diamondbacks tour, yeah, I know. I'd be like someone chanting "Let's go Yankees" throughout a Orioles tour. That's not appropriate.
No, get out there.
That's not appropriate. So I did not like that. I also noticed. I mean, there was stuff about Randy Johnson and Luis Gonzalez and the World Series, but there's also a lot of stuff. I think this is just the lack of history with the Diamondbacks, since they've only been around since the early '90s.
Yeah.
In that, it was a lot of like historical stuff. Like, here's a picture kind of in the bag of Babe Ruth, and let's talk about Babe Ruth's called shot. And they kind of told that story. Here's Ted Williams, and here's Joe DiMaggio with the picture side by side. I was expecting like more Diamondback stories, but it's a lot of just like baseball stories, which is interesting, but a little bit surprising.
And that's where I'm torn, because I want the history of the Diamondbacks, but I also understand they got to teach baseball and the history of baseball.
And they don't have quite the history maybe that other franchises do, because they haven't been around as long. The guy went on a big rant about Pete Rose not being allowed in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's pro Pete Rose?
Yeah, well, also because
Me too.
It's quite obvious, Josh, in Arizona, right outside the stadium is like a sports book. Inside of Chase Stadium, it's Arizona. No. There's advertising for gambling everywhere you turn.
That's every baseball stadium nowadays. The Camden Yards has that sports book.
You can't gamble in Atlanta, in Georgia, so it's not in Atlanta yet.
They don't have any apps that you can do?
I mean, you can do like, the FanDuel with individual players competitions, but you can't bet on like games and winners and losers and stuff.
Well, it's hitting every team. It's all over the place.
Yeah. But some people view that as a bit hypocritical based on what the Pete Rose ban.
I do. I see the issues with it, but I also see, honestly, I see baseball should have not made any of these deals, and football should have not made any of these deals with gambling companies. I think that Major League Sports are making too much money off gambling. That it doesn't keep things straight. So I don't like the whole thing.
I completely agree. There's too much money to turn away, but
because of that money, you're going to question where that ball got spotted.
Yeah.
Or you're going to question why they didn't go for why they ended the game instead of kicking the extra point, which would have gotten me the win.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know they're watching players like Hawks, but you're telling me a player can't talk to a friend of a friend to place bets?
Okay, Ohtani.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
you're going to say, if I was a pro sports player, or you were, we would go to each other and say, hey, here's $10,000. Bet it on me.
Yeah. Or a player's injured.
Yeah.
Bet the under on this guy.
Right, exactly. And you put in your name so it doesn't get traced back to me. And you just gift me a $20,000 watch with the winnings. Yeah,
especially people like I've been really suspicious of, and this is now like my students with ChatGPT, or anyone who writes a good paper, I assume you cheated. It's just sad because that's what ChatGPT has done.
I'm in it every day.
Yeah, I know, and I get it. It's convenient, but it's not cheating illegal for you to do it. It is cheating when my students do it.
Correct.
And turn it into their own work.
Yes,
that's a little bit different.
Yes, that is different than me using it for show notes and write a commercial here and yes,
exactly. And but it's the similar idea where it's hard to trust people, and I think like players who are making a lot of money, like they have every reason to not gamble, right? Like why would you mess with it?
But at the same time, we've seen so many athletes blow all their money in like 2 years.
Yeah. Or what about people like Michael Jordan? If you watch his documentary, super competitive and would just like bet over stupid stuff and just like almost are gambling fiends because they like the rush of the competition. Right. And so you're surrounding these guys who are competitive fiends with gambling, ability to gamble everywhere they turn.
No, it's a horrible idea.
And then it's like whenever my kid, is you can tell he's in a mood, he's looking for trouble. What you do is you try your best to remove things that would get him in trouble, right? To make it harder for him to get in trouble. Where baseball and sports and NFL seem to be doing the opposite. Let me surround these players with as many possibilities to mess up as we possibly can.
If I put $50 on Gunnar Henderson to win Rookie of the Year last year, I guarantee a relative of Gunnar Henderson's put down $50,000 for Gunnar Henderson to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, unless he had some insider information that he was tweaked his stomach or whatever muscle he tweaked. Yeah, it's kind of wild. And by the way, Josh, as I was in Arizona, I didn't place any bets, but I didn't really have time. But I thought about like if I were going to place one Orioles bet to make some money, if there's one bet, not just like I'm going to bet the over, but like if there was, because that wouldn't make a lot of money. If I could bet a kind of a long odds bet, that could make me some money. Would you have a bet in mind, like a long odd but possible that could make a good return?
You mean a play? You're leaning towards a player bet.
I got a player award bet that I was leaning towards doing.
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay.
And I might have even placed this one in the Hard Rock app because I was looking.
All right.
MVP Gunnar Henderson, league MVP.
Okay, that's a good one.
But I've got one right behind that.
Okay, because mine are even a lot longer odds. I doubt it's mine.
Then it might be because I've got a second one that I'm toying between two different categories to put this guy under. So tell me yours, just in case. I don't want to steal it in case it's yours.
Well, it's not anymore, but it was going to be Grayson Rodriguez, Cy Young.
Ooh, mine is also Cy Young, but I'm also leaning towards Rookie of the Year. Do you know who I'm thinking of putting some money down on for Rookie of the Year for your Baltimore Orioles?
Not Basayo. Josh, he's not going to play. Oh.
No, I said I thought about Cy Young for him, but I think I'm going to do Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Cade Povich?
No.
Pitcher.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year pitcher?
Rookie of the Year pitcher.
Oh, our Japanese dude. He's throwing Saguna. He's throwing 6 shutout innings, and you're ready to put them all in.
He's looking outstanding. He's looking so good.
I forget about a 40-year-old man winning Rookie of the Year.
I love the storyline of whatever he is, 35 years old, 37 years old, winning Rookie of the Year. Yeah. I love that idea. Yeah. So that's where I'm going to put some money. Wonder what the odds are.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have issues, I think, with maybe innings pitched, going, but maybe not. He's a veteran. I don't know. Maybe he can adjust to the 5-man rotation. We were, speculating about the possibility of a 6-man rotation. That doesn't seem possible anymore.
No.
With the Grayson Rodriguez injury. Yeah. But no, overall, besides losing the mini bats, I just love Arizona. I love Sedona. Sedona is one of my favorite places, I think, on the planet. I love all those hikes. I love those rocks. Josh, I did realize this about myself. I didn't think, like, I let my son he's 7, walk to the bus stop by himself, a block and a half.
Right.
I'm trying to give my kids more freedom in a society that doesn't want to let me do this. I'm trying to get my kids more freedom. And I was all about that until climbing Bell Rock in Sedona and seeing my kids like mountain goats climb up this rock and hang on these cliffs. And then the same going down the trails of the Grand Canyon. Have you been to the Grand Canyon, Josh?
Yeah, I went this past year.
Oh, that's right. Did you walk down like the rim and like go on the trail?
No. Did not go down because it was cold and snowing.
Yeah, it snowed when we were there too. And there's snow on the ground, and there's like you're walking on the trail, and there's no like there's no handrail. There's nothing.
Yes, many spots where I could fall to my death.
Yes, and I have my son who's as clumsy as I don't know what, and there's snow on parts of the trail, so it's icy and it's steep. And it was just, I felt like, our sister Laura, in the sense of like helicopter parent freaking out, overly kind of anxious. Like I was literally kind of sick to my stomach watching them. And I wanted them to kind of experience and have fun. And they were kind of fearless, which added to my fear. But I was like, okay, guys, that's far enough. And it was fine too, because hiking down the Grand Canyon is kind of fun. Hiking back up was not as fun.
That
was a little bit harder.
Totally get that
for the kiddos.
I did find
that was a great trip.
I did find Saguna's Rookie of the Year odds plus 1750. So a $50 bet wins you $950.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Kobe
Mayo. It was what? What's the number? Because I'll compare it to Grayson Rodriguez.
Plus 1750 for Rookie of the Year, and Kobe Mayo plus 1000 for Rookie of the Year. I will not be taking that bet.
Josh, I love how Josh is basing all these decisions on 10 spring training games. Grayson Rodriguez was plus 2,500, and I don't know if this has been updated since the injury. But
it has been because he is now plus 4,000.
Oh yeah, plus 4,000. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, yeah, and I will no longer be placing that bet now.
No,
now that he's
but I just put down $25 on Tommy. Seguna, Tommy Oku.
All right.
So we'll see how that plays out.
I hope for rookie of the year, not Cy Young.
Yeah, rookie of the year.
Yeah, I don't know who else. Who's the favorite to get rookie of the year in the American League? Like the National League, certainly Sasaki, but in the American League, who's the favorite?
Jason Dominguez.
Oh, for the Yankees.
Yeah, Roman Anthony, Kristen Campbell, Jacob Wilson, Jackson Jobe, and Kobe Mayo. William James Wagner, Kumar
So
Rocker.
it feels like
that might be an issue.
Why is Kumar Rocker an issue?
Yeah.
Why is that
Kumar Rocker? He's pretty good.
Oh, an issue in winning. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more. It's pretty wide open this year. It feels like, right?
Exactly. That's why I'm going with him.
Yeah.
Because I think it is wide open.
Yeah. Who else in the Orioles is rookie eligible? It's Heston Kjerstad, is he? He's played.
No, Kjerstad is not. Jackson Holiday is not.
Jackson Holiday isn't.
It's really just Kobe Mayo, and then a bunch of dark horses that wouldn't even be in the run-ins right now.
Is Basayo on there?
He is not, because I don't think anyone thinks Basayo will come up until he starts hitting balls out of Norfolk, like the city proper.
Yeah,
he is crushing the ball.
He doesn't just hit home runs; he hits them so far, Josh. It's kind of silly.
He hits some of the furthest balls I've ever seen in Sarasota.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yes. So
he also has. I like it when this happens in terms of Orioles stat lines. His OBP is actually lower than his batting average, which is bizarre. His batting average is 294. His OBP is 278.
Right.
Which is hard to do. So props to Basayo on that.
And I just think Basayo's getting a lot of praise at spring training. And I know it's spring training. But there's going to be a point where how they bring him up into the majors is going to be interesting. Because if he really pushes hard at Norfolk, can they really justify sitting on him for another year and not bringing him up this summer?
Yeah. Don't you think it's similar, besides the positional thing, with him being catcher and Adley Rutschman being a catcher?
Right.
I think it's similar to the conversation we had about the same age with Jackson Holiday last year and last offseason.
Yeah. And what happened? They had to bring him up.
Well, in his spring training last year, I just looked up his spring training numbers last year for Jackson Holiday. Batted 311, OBP at 354, a couple home runs. So he had a good spring training last year too.
Yeah, and what was it, June when they finally had to bring him up?
Yeah.
So I could totally see the same situation.
And then he struggled.
Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. April 10th, he pushed his way up immediately. He was up on April 10th.
And then he was sent back down and called back up.
Yeah, because he struggled.
Yeah.
I don't see Basayo pushing his way into April, but if Gary Sanchez doesn't play well, I could see that opening the door, because especially in a position like catcher where you're not going to ask him to catch every day, you're going to bring him in a backup DH position. I guess DH is also an interesting slot in how that works out with Kjerstad and O'Neill and health there.
Well, and O'Hearn, yeah.
And O'Hearn, and how you could fit Basayo on, but he could easily be forcing his way up here by June.
Yeah, and that could be interesting. How do you want to use him in terms of DH, catcher? If either of them would ever take reps at first base, would it be interesting to see too?
Right, and I think there's a lot of talk about how Basayo's pitch framing is better than Adley's.
Well, and also he, I don't know if you're watching the game today. It was a weird. I wasn't. It was televised, like using Pittsburgh cameras, but Oriole announcers.
Oh, it was Orioles announcers? All right.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I
It was
watched it
Brett
with
Hollander and Ben McDonald.
Okay. Yesterday, I watched it with Philly, but it was Philly announcers.
But it's weird. They would do like show the broadcasters interviewing a Pittsburgh player, having an interview while Ben McDonald and Brett Hollander.
Masson finds a way to cheap out.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, and we'll get into this, the dispute. It sounds like Masson lost a lot, or has lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, there was early in the game, there was a ball that was called a ball, and it was challenged by Basayo, and they reviewed it, and it was a strike. So clearly, also has a good understanding of what a strike and ball is of the catch position, which I think is an important element too of being a catcher now to make those challenge calls.
And I really like the computerized strike zone. I like how they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm a fan too.
My question is, for years we've been talking about pitch framing. Once you add a computer, pitch framing goes away. It's no longer part of the game because the computer tracks where it goes over the home plate. Where pitch framing is all about slightly moving your glove so the umpire thinks you caught it in a different spot.
Right. And so, I mean, for this year with the challenge, I think it still works. But if we ever go to full...
Yeah, then pitch framing as a art, I guess, it goes away, which is interesting. So then you put less emphasis on a catcher if all he has to do is catch the ball.
Well, and throw runners out.
Yeah, and I guess call the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's... Yes, but good for Sammy Basayo. I think the walks, he's got 0 walks. I don't know if that concerns you at all. Certainly, he could use a little bit more patience at the plate, I guess. I haven't watched all of his at-bats to know really what that means.
I feel like at spring training, they tell the guys to be more aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, but certainly he's been kind of one of our best players this spring. So that's very encouraging. Let's get to some of this injury talk, which is less encouraging, Josh. There's
all right. Where do you want to start?
I guess we can rank them in terms of severity or concern you have. The 3 injuries are Gunnar Henderson, Grayson Rodriguez, Andrew Kittredge. I have some questions about all these injuries. I think
we're past the Jordan Westberg sore back. Right?
Yeah, he was back today.
Yeah, he got a new mattress and he's good.
Yeah, and he looked good. He got a hit. The Gunnar Henderson thing is a right intercostal strain.
Yes.
Whatever your intercostal is.
I thought that was a thing where you drive a boat down.
It might be. I see what you did there. And I feel like I never like to see this. Like he's a maybe for opening day. That's not what you want to hear because that means to me he's not making opening day. So this is going to be a long-term injury thing. How concerned, Josh, should we be? We saw Jackson Holiday play shortstop today. How concerned should we be about Gunnar Henderson?
I am not too concerned about Gunnar Henderson. I think it's taking it easy and something maybe you play through if it's August, but it's February or it's March now. Intercostal is like your chest area, so it's a strain here.
Yeah. I think he got like when he was jumping.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think I'm not too concerned. I think you just rest. It's not like his arm is out or surgery or anything. So I'm not too concerned. I have a feeling he'll be there on opening day.
Right. It's a strain. So you would think the last thing you want to do is not come back fully healthy and re-aggravate it or play a bunch of games unhealthy. Like get it fully healthy, even if it means missing the first week of the season or something.
Right. Do you blame MLB The Show? Is this the cover art curse? Is
that still a thing? I thought that was just a Madden curse.
I think that's just a Madden curse.
Yeah. So we're not too concerned about that one.
No, not concerned.
Grayson Rodriguez, right elbow inflammation.
A little bit more concerned.
There's no timetable. They're just kind of watch and wait and see.
No, they gave him a shot.
Yeah.
They gave him a cortisone shot.
Right.
And he's supposed to not throw for a week.
Right.
And as long as it doesn't get worse, then if he comes back, if he misses 2-3 starts, I'm okay. If this drags out into half a season, it's a major problem.
I'm sure it happens. I just can't recall anyone who has elbow discomfort, gets a shot, the rest of the week comes back and is fine. maybe that happens. I just can't think of situations where you're throwing elbow or is not feeling good,
Right.
and then you rest and now it's feeling good again. I don't recall those stories. Maybe this happens. Maybe it's out there. I just don't. I can't think of stories where this ends happily for the Orioles.
Except it's not soreness; it's inflammation.
Right, inflammation.
So they're saying it's not a ligament. So
it's
they're
not,
saying
it's not
don't
Tommy
worry
John.
don't worry about Tommy John. It's not a ligament.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not too concerned.
Okay, I'm very concerned.
I have major concerns about Grayson Rodriguez because this was supposed to be his year. This was the year he was going to step up to be our ace.
I almost put money for Cy Young. Yeah.
And instead, it's turning into another year where we cannot get a full year out of Grayson Rodriguez.
Right. We talked even how he had a different off-season workout because he has been injured in the past, and this is his season to throw 170 innings or something.
So I definitely have concerns that Grayson never becomes the star we think he can be.
Right.
Because if he's not healthy, I have major career concerns. As far as this season, I'm not concerned yet.
Okay, I'm very concerned.
Okay.
I don't, even if it's not Tommy John, just your elbow not feeling good. It's not a good thing.
But it's not a ligament. And that's what I'm leaning on.
All right. And the last injury that came out since we last talked was Andrew Kittredge, who needs left knee surgery. He was going to be our setup guy. Yes. And now he's not. And this is a blow to a bullpen who I already don't think has some question marks, our bullpen. Felix Bautista pitched today. We hope he can come back as closer, but that's no guarantee. And so now with this injury to Andrew Kittredge too, it feels like we should have done more in this bullpen. Yeah,
the Kittredge injury is frustrating because that was a player I was excited about signing. If this fit really well in our bullpen.
If this somehow leads, Josh, to Brian Baker making the team, I'm going to be even more angry.
I think this combined with Grayson Rodriguez, because that means you're going to move Suarez or Povich from your bullpen into your rotation. So I think there is some interesting bullpen adjustments to be made where Baker, who's having a good spring, might be in there.
No, Baker's.
But
I home runs today. No, I don't want Brian Baker.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this one's annoying. But
Josh, isn't this weird though?
What, that we have another pitching injury?
Well, he didn't. He only had one warm up, and they found some stuff. But shouldn't this have come up in the physical?
You would think, yeah.
There was a bunch of some junk in his knee from an old cartilage or whatever it is that they need to be taken out.
If it's bad enough if it's bad enough to need surgery, you would think they would have caught it ahead of time.
Yeah, and it wasn't it was already there clearly. Right, because it's the first time he even warmed up, and so it was something that was clearly lingering from another time. So that to me is where's all my failed physical people? This should have come up in this should have been a failed physical situation.
Well, I wonder if this is why they only signed him for a 1-year deal. They thought they could squeeze 1 year out before this hit.
Maybe. They saw some damage in the knee, so we can squeeze another year out.
Right. So
he's out for months.
Yeah, Kittredge is out for months.
He's part of our. He now joins Kyle Bradish
and Tyler
Wells as the cavalry that's coming.
Our mid-season cavalry.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a name for the guys coming back from injury.
Yeah, the 3 horsemen.
Right. So, yeah, this happens. It just sucks.
Yeah, it could be worse. You mentioned the Yankees; they lost Garrett Cole for the whole year,
and it's better now than July, August injuries.
Yeah, this is a long season. You want Gunnar in there full go. You want Grayson full go, and so I'm okay. I'm with you. If this means they miss, a couple weeks in April, I have no problem with that. I think we can overcome that. But the concern is, does this stuff linger?
If you're Mike Elias, does this force you to do something right now?
Well,
do you make a move? Do you sign a free agent that's still out there? Do you make a trade?
Here are the top free agent pitchers remaining: Patrick Corbin, Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, Spencer Turnbull, and that's kind of it, to be honest, in terms of starting pitcher. Maybe Jordan Lyles is still out there, I guess.
All right.
If you want some more Jordan Lyles action, we could do a kind of reunion with him. So they're not great options.
They're not great options, but I'm not against some of those. I'm not against a trial of Kyle Gibson again. I'm not against that.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to how much faith you have in Kate Povich. I mean,
yes.
And how much faith you have in. I mean, but also if you get another injury.
But then also those guys then hurt your pen when you pull them in.
Yeah, well, I think Kate Povich is starting no matter what, either at Norfolk or the Orioles. But I mean, both Jordan Lyles and Kyle Gibson had good stints here. They're good locker room guys. So yeah, I would not be opposed to either of those guys with a short stint here.
Kyle Gibson started 30 games last year, and he put up a 4.24 ERA.
Yeah,
I'd take a flyer on that.
Yeah,
I'd be all right with giving him the ball, seeing what he can do.
I mean, he threw a whole bunch of innings for us, right?
Yeah, he threw 33 games. He did 192 innings. He pitched with us. With
192 innings.
Yeah, with St. Louis last year, he pitched 169, so not too much of a step back.
Yeah. And so if you want to make that argument in terms of Grayson Rodriguez, how much will he pitch? Kate Povich, how much faith do you have in Kate Povich? Albert Suarez is another year older. What he had last year, was that kind of magic or is that real? Like there are a lot of question marks where you could say, okay, here's someone who's gone. Now he's not going to be a Cy Young, but he's going to eat some innings for you and not be horrendous.
I'd bring Kyle Gibson in for a 1-year deal. 1-year deal, eat some innings. If he sucks, sorry, we're just going to let you go. If Grayson comes back, all right, we're going to let you go. Like, Kyle Gibson's not wanting to go to Norfolk. But will I give him $1 million to fill some holes until we get a little healthier? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the owner of the Orioles, I've wasted way more money in worse ways.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I feel, to be honest, I feel somewhat similar ways about I'm just looking at Jordan Lyles' numbers and they're not good, really. So maybe not Jordan Lyles in the same way.
No, and Gibson also was like seen as a leader with those young guys. So you're bringing in a guy that they know, you're familiar with the type of person.
Yeah.
So I'm completely open to that. I would have been open with re-signing him last year as well, though.
Right. But I tell you what, it makes you mentioned Saguna's spring training, and Charlie Morton has also been really good this spring training. It makes those signings all the more important that we have that depth now. And this is not shocking. This should not have shocked anybody that a starting pitcher has to get shut down in spring training. This happens all the time. This is why you have depth.
And we're not the only team. Like those free agent pitchers that are out there, they're going to get signed because we're not the only other teams going through this. We talked about Cole and New York.
Yeah,
and other people got to do this. They'll sign someone.
Yeah. I heard the Cubs too are sniffing around these players, according to Ken Rosenthal. So it's going to be interesting to watch. It does feel though like Kate Povich might have been on the outside looking in. Now, I think he's the front runner, depending on how he pitches, to get that 5th rotation spot. I guess it's between him and Albert Suarez for the 5th spot, right? And so whoever pitches better, or whoever you feel like you have more flexibility, like Albert Suarez might be a better fit in the pen than Kate Povich. And I don't know if it matters, but Kate Povich is also a lefty, and there's no lefties currently in the starting rotation. Not. So that might also be another reason you want Kate Povich, so you have a lefty you can throw in there every now and then. So that's going to be interesting to watch how Kate Povich pitches now for the rest of spring training, because I think it's his rotation spot to lose.
I agree.
But we'll see.
But again, better now. Let's deal with it now.
Yeah, no,
as
I don't
far as
disagree with
injuries.
that. Hey,
And on the plus side, Batista's back and
I was
Batista's
just going to say that. You read my mind. I was going to say some positive news, injury related. Felix Batista got hit around a little bit today, but his fastball velocity was up.
Yeah.
Hit 98. So I think that's overall is encouraging.
Agreed. And Jackson Holliday's looking good.
Yeah,
after having a down year, and Adley Rutschman's looking good after a down year.
Yeah,
so I'm okay.
Jackson Holliday batting a lot of leadoff. Do you like Jackson Holliday at the leadoff spot?
I do. I like him in that top 3, where you're going to get speed and a little flexibility. I'd rather, if we're going to put a bunt down, I'd rather Jackson Holliday put down that bunt than Gunnar Henderson. Get Jackson Holliday on base and let Gunnar Henderson knock him around. I like that move. I like Gunnar 1. I like Jackson 1 and Gunnar 2 or 3. You get a guy on base. If you get Jackson on first base, and then you get Gunnar hits a ball off the wall, hits a double, Jackson's scoring. Jackson can score from first base. He's got the speed. So I like that.
Yeah. I don't know about your stupid bunt comment, but I do like the idea of Gunnar Henderson batting second. I mean, he's going to. I mean, last year he was second on the team in home runs, had 37 home runs, and now Santander's gone. And so I don't want my leading home run hitter batting leadoff. Like, you want him to come up with a runner on. He also gets a lot of doubles.
The other guy I like up there. The other guy I like up there at the top is Jordan Westberg. I like him in that 1, 2, 3 slot as well because he hits doubles. He gets on base.
And he's clutch. He was our best hitter last year with runner scoring position. So I agree. I like the combination of Holliday and Gunnar as your 1-2 punch. I know they're both lefties, but I still like it as
it's really hard for me to not look at this lineup and get excited.
Yeah, but we're assuming Holliday kind of makes the next step in his maturation. If Holliday bats 200, like what are we talking about here? You can't have a leadoff hitter batting 200.
No, he's 8th. He's 8th or 9th.
Yeah,
of course. This is things going well.
Yeah. But I get excited about the lineup too, Josh. It does look pretty different if you swap out Gunnar Henderson with Ramon Arias in the lineup. And that's essentially, I think, what's going to happen, right? Ramon Arias will go to, however they play it, to second maybe or to third. Do you do Ramon Arias to third and Westberg to second and Holliday to short? Do you mess with everybody?
You mean if Gunnar's not there?
If Gunnar's not there?
I think you're going to see maybe. But Mateo is supposed to be ready for opening day as well. So you could also.
I don't think Mateo's going to be ready for opening day. Is that true? I don't think that's true.
I think that's true.
I don't believe you. Today they had Westberg at third, Arias at second, and Holliday at short.
I think you're going to see Westberg play some short as well.
No, you're not going to see that.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
All right. I think Holliday. I think the answer is probably Holliday, though.
Yeah,
and
short.
I think Urias. Yeah, Urias Westberg. They both play second or third fine.
Yeah. So if you don't want to maybe get too funky with it, since you want Westberg to be everyday third baseman, make Urias play kind of out of his comfort zone, as opposed to making Westberg. Because I think Urias would rather play third, as would Westberg. So you let your regular play third and move Urias around. It's kind of around with it. But
all right, so there is a Masson article from 2 weeks ago saying Jorge Mateo will not be ready for opening day.
Okay.
Then there's an article in the Baltimore Sun from 5 hours ago saying Jorge Mateo is confident he'll be healthy for opening day.
Healthy for opening day, but maybe not only. Like, he sounds like a classic candidate for extended spring training.
He sounds like an extended spring training, but he sounds like a guy that thinks he will be there, but he hasn't played yet.
No, he hasn't even been in the game. So I don't. So you think his first game played will be opening day?
Yeah. So maybe we listen to what the Orioles say instead of what Mateo says.
Yeah. I'm sure Mi Hermana thinks he's going to be ready for opening day. But
how much more do you think Mateo decided he'd be ready for opening day once Gunnar Henderson got hurt and he saw an opening?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it. I mean, I don't know. And Kobe Mayo has struggled in spring.
He definitely struggled. Yeah.
I feel like there's an opening in the infield spot here for an outsider to kind of make the the roster who originally was not kind of a favorite to make the roster. I mean, it
Urias.
makes the conversation with Urias. Yeah, like that would have been an interesting conversation. That's no longer an interesting conversation. He's not
Right, he'll make it.
He's now a starter. But I feel like also there's like another player who's not even on the roster now, right? Like who's going to be the backup infielder?
You mean if it's not Mayo and it's not
Mateo? Yeah.
Yeah, some guy that one of these, we signed like 4 infielders that we wrote off as depth, so it could be any of those guys.
Like Terran Vavra?
Exactly. This is a Vavra situation.
Yeah. Or who's having a nice spring? Who's this guy? Jackson guy?
I don't know Jackson.
All right. I always know it's funny when I look at box scores and I see Holiday and then replaced by Jackson. And so it looks like Jackson Holiday in the one position.
I always like that this machine guy is getting a lot of playing time.
Yeah, maybe it's Sam. Maybe it's Sam.
Well, he's an outfielder, right? Or is he an infielder?
I don't know anything about the guy.
I just know he gets a lot of playing time. I think he's a right fielder.
All right. So it certainly feels like there's.
Oh, no. He is a shortstop.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe him.
So it might be him.
Livian Soto is another guy that they kind of picked up on waivers a couple times. So it could be Soto. So yeah, but it could be a guy who, was a depth piece, had no shot at the roster. Now all of a sudden, might have a shot if Gunnar can't go for opening day.
This machine guy has played in 12 spring training games, and he has 10 hits. That's the only reason I know his name. He's getting a hit every game. He has 1 strikeout, 2 walks, and 10 hits.
Yeah.
In 24 plate appearances.
Yeah, it's a Jake Fox situation there.
It's totally a Jake Fox situation, but if Gunnar Henderson is not ready for opening day, Machine's going to make it onto this bench.
Well, the other guy I was thinking of, Jeremiah Jackson's having a really nice spring as well. Batting 417, or batting 364, OBP of 417, has a couple home runs. He's had a really nice spring too, and he can play all the infield positions. So Jeremiah Jackson might be another person to watch.
Yeah. Agreed. It's just something to keep an eye out. But again, we're still 3 weeks from opening day. Just under 3 weeks, I believe. So
yeah, for us.
Time for some things to play out for us.
Not for the Cubbies and Dodgers, but for us. Yeah.
Oh, with the Tokyo series?
Yeah, Tokyo series. I love the Tokyo series, by the way. I think it's great. I'm glad they do that.
I like the Tokyo series, except for the fact that it's like 2 weeks before the season starts.
Well, and the game starts at 2 a.m. or something.
Right. Yeah, so, you can't watch them live.
No, you wake up hopefully for the 9th inning.
If the Orioles ever play in the Tokyo series, you want to go?
Oh yeah, I'd love to go.
I think I'd love to go. I think that's the next ticket. That's the next, like, if they play in Tokyo, we got to go.
Yeah, no, I'd be down for that. I got a friend in Japan we can stay with.
All right. Well, hopefully we get a World Series first.
Yeah. Is that what we got to do first? All right, one thing at a time.
I don't know.
If we win the World Series,
if Sagona wins Rookie of the Year,
Japan.
If Sagona wins Rookie of the Year, we might be on that list for next year.
Yeah, but I'm going to have no money left if they win the World Series.
That's true.
Spend all my money buying bats that get confiscated.
Yeah, mini bats.
Silly. Hey, we got a game on the books that we're going to, right?
And we've opened it up
with us.
Yeah, we've opened it up for listeners of Section 336 and the Michael Mara Show and Birdland Today, all that. So we're going to go on Sunday, May 4th. It's an afternoon game. It's Star Wars Day. The whole May the 4th be with you.
Gunnar Henderson bobblehead.
So it's a Gunnar Henderson Star Wars bobblehead day. And we've got tickets for $22 a piece. I believe we're in Section 344. They said
it's not 336.
Well, they offered us 336, but it was the last 2 rows in the stadium. And I said, we'll go to 344 where we'll be a little bit closer.
Okay.
So anyway, we got seats together. Matt and I aren't sure how often we'll get back to Camden Yards this year, but we'd love for you to come join us in May for May 4th in a Sunday afternoon game.
And if they want to get tickets, they go to our website?
Yep, section336.com. we have a new section called Store. And right now, the only thing up in the store at the moment is Oriole game tickets for May 4th to join us. And they're on there for $22. Purchasing it there makes a reservation with me, and then I'll take that money, give it to the Orioles. They'll give me some tickets, and I will distribute them to all our listeners.
All right,
So
cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we don't do this anymore. We used to do this kind of once a year, once a season.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we don't really, because we don't live there anymore, and it's hard to plan this stuff out. We don't do it anymore. So we would love to hear or see listeners. So please either buy a ticket with us or certainly stop by and say hi.
Yes.
I'm kind of regretting
buy a ticket
things.
with us.
Yeah, buy a ticket with us. So we can have a bunch of 336ers, a bunch of coconuts up there.
And we're not making any money on the tickets. We're just passing it through us so that you guys can sit with us and hang out.
Yeah, kind of like this podcast.
So,
not making any
right. Exactly. So feel free to grab a 336 shirt or something when you get your ticket as well.
Yeah. Is that on the website on the store too? You can get
it'll probably be there tomorrow.
Okay.
When this comes out, I'll have a shirt up there.
T-shirts. Okay. The same old ones? You got a new design or same?
I've got a new one partly designed. My plan is to finish it tomorrow, and it'll be up in the store.
Okay. That's cool. Can I say though, I was looking last night, thinking about this, looking at plane tickets. Kind of already regret this whole thing. Josh, you have to if you watch the game Sunday, it limits when you can buy a plane ticket out of here.
Yes.
You know, I like to buy plane tickets with Frontier for about $29.
Yes.
From Atlanta to Baltimore. But they only go in the morning. And so now I have to find an evening flight from Baltimore to Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm flying back.
I think I'm going to have to spend more than $29. I'm not too happy about that.
I'm flying back on Monday.
Yeah, I can't do that because Silas can't miss another day.
Oh, right. You got Silas with you.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I'm timing it with a Michael Mayer show event, so the show pays for me to fly up.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Right now, the cheapest ticket they have is Southwest for $100.
That's not bad.
I don't pay $100 to fly, Josh. No.
That's a good price.
I'm gonna hold out.
Fine.
I'm gonna hold out. I want to see under 60, and then I'll go.
Do you have your tickets purchased for Boston?
No.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the price to be right. I watch these flights. I go every day and check out these flights. I'm watching like a hawk. No flight cost dollar changes without me being aware.
All right. I already purchased my Boston flights because I was concerned about that. But I have not purchased my Boston hotel room yet for Wednesday night.
Okay. I was doing the math, and it was like $40 cheaper to fly on Wednesday, but then you end up spending
paying for the hotel.
Yeah. What's the point of getting the cheaper?
Yes. I'm doing it because I work Thursday morning, so I can't fly up Thursday morning.
Yeah. I was only considering it because depending on how
to save the $40.
And then I got, I do the stupid Marriott thing with the hotel points.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of points. So
let me know because I will be going up Wednesday night, so I will have a hotel room.
Okay.
Either way.
I booked the hotel using my points already in Baltimore. So I was concerned about all the hotels in Baltimore by the stadium getting booked up for that weekend. I don't know how well Kansas City Royal fans travel.
Yeah, pretty good, I think.
Yeah. But hotels have a cool thing now where you book a hotel. They said I can cancel up to the day before I go.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. I don't know why they do that to me.
So, have you seen the airline hack where people are doing this? I
love hacks. Let's go.
All right. So, here's what you do.
Yeah.
You buy your flight on your plane, okay?
Sure.
And you get that as like a non-refundable, like you normally do, like the cheapest thing available.
Right.
Then you go on there and you buy the more expensive refundable tickets.
Right.
For the two seats next to you.
Okay.
And then the day of your flight, you cancel those two tickets.
Oh, and then you have the whole row to yourself.
You get the money refunded back to you, and you have the whole row to yourself.
Oh, that's sneaky. I haven't heard about. I like that. That's sneaky. Doesn't really
one of those
money,
hacks,
but it gives you some comfort. Yeah.
Right. It's one of those hacks where you feel like you're a little bit doing things wrong and taking advantage.
You're ruining the system for others.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's one of those hacks where when word gets out, they'll do something to stop it.
Yeah. Or they'll get rid of refundable altogether, and there goes the convenience of those deals.
Right.
I didn't know those plane tickets are Well, I guess there are options. I always get the cheapest one, so I'm not even aware that refundable was a thing.
Yeah, there's more expensive ones that are refundable.
I just don't. I don't look at those.
I buy the cheaper one as well.
Yeah, I know at Southwest you can get credit, and so sometimes I think about that if you can do because they'll give you credit, but you have to get another Southwest flight.
Yeah, I'm going to Europe in a couple months, and I think we might have gotten refundable ones for that.
Yeah,
just
that makes sense for a big purchase,
big
like
flight.
that. Yeah, you don't want to get sick and lose it or something.
Right.
All right. Well, we had. Oh, Josh, just real quick. I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
You've been following this stupid Masson dispute, I feel like, for years. Thoughts on it's finally over?
It's finally over. Yeah. Quick thoughts. I think it's great that we can finally get rid of Masson too.
Yeah, the Nationals after this year, are leaving Masson.
Yeah, and my guess is that the Nationals will end up on the Monumental Sports Network, which is where the Caps are and the Wizards.
Okay.
Because why not have all your DC sports on one channel? Work out a deal. But I think the bigger deal is I believe this opens the door for blackouts to go away and for streaming to work properly.
I don't see how the two are connected.
Because there's the litigation that locked you up from being able to make any changes is gone.
Yeah, because it was a long-term contract. Yeah,
right. So now you can move forward. You can make new deals. You can adjust your contracts with Comcast, Verizon. So you can get onto YouTube TV. You can get onto Fubo. You can get out of market streaming. You can roll out your own Masson app where people can pay you. You can unlock blackouts. I don't know if it'll be in time for this year, but I think by next year we'll have blackouts gone for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, but did I read it correctly, Josh, in that the Orioles owed or are paying the Nats $320 million? And it was a period of from 2021 through 2026 of payments totaling $320 million. And that's kind of what the Orioles had to end up doing. Isn't that outrageous?
Oh, it's the whole thing is ridiculous because from the start, people think, oh, well, it's the Orioles screwing the Nationals. But this all started with the Major League Baseball making a bad deal and agreeing to pay the Orioles all these TV rights in order to bring the Nationals into their backyard. That's what started this whole thing. To
steal, so much of the market.
To steal our market share. Yep. Which we've seen affect the Orioles. And then the Nats ownership changed, and the Nats ownership group complained to Major League Baseball that it's not fair. And Major League Baseball dragged this out for years when really it was a bad deal that Major League Baseball made at the beginning. And Major League Baseball should have to pay the Nationals this money, not the Orioles.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm just glad it's over. Let's move forward.
Yeah, but now it sounds like the last payment is happening this year.
Yes.
And so presumably maybe there'll be some funds free. I don't know. Like, or to spend more money.
Enjoy your final year of the Masson Cup.
Yeah. That costs something different now. It also made me think of the Nats. Made me think of this a little bit. Not so much the Nats, but when I was in Arizona, they mentioned kind of how they were the last expansion team, them and the Devil Rays, right?
Right, because the Nationals weren't an expansion; they were a relocation.
Right, from Montreal.
Yes, but it's time for another one.
Yeah, isn't it time for? This is 1998.
Yeah, no,
we have an expansion. Aren't we ready for an expansion?
Yes, I think COVID slowed down the expansion. And I think now that fans are going back, and that's why we're seeing smaller stadiums as well. I think we'll have an expansion.
Spring training and minor league stadiums we're playing in now?
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, George Steinbrenner Stadium.
Yeah. Oh, I looked at tickets for when the Orioles are there this summer. They're all jacked up.
Because there's only like 10 tickets.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think we'll see a new team in the next 3 to 5 years. I think Nashville will get a team, which will be interesting because that also eats a little bit into the Orioles market.
But maybe they'll stop doing blackouts in North Carolina then.
And then it's Major League Baseball is obsessed with the idea of getting a team back in Montreal. And I don't know if Montreal can support a team. But there's people in baseball that love the idea. Tampa Bay right now looks like they're making a play for new owners in Tampa Bay after all the stadium issues they're having. Getting this new stadium done.
I know it's almost like you look at Oakland, Tampa Bay. Like you can't handle the teams are a mess that are in MLB. Why would you take on new teams.
100%. And I think that's what you got to wait to settle down. Oakland's going to be, I think in 3 years, they'll be in Las Vegas. That'll be fine. Not worried about that.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay looks like they're on the path towards new ownership and a new stadium in Tampa.
And maybe a stadium in Tampa. Or no, we're still at St. Pete.
St. Pete still. It's still St. Pete.
All right.
But that's all good for baseball. I think there's a few towns that are interested for expansion. I think it is hilarious.
I like the Salt Lake City. I like that one.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious when you look at a map and you see the big empty spots with no baseball.
Meanwhile, Florida, California have how many teams? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's interesting. I think once we get out of this Tampa and Oakland mess, someone's going to start looking at Miami because it's amazing that a city like that cannot support a baseball team.
Yeah, that is kind of amazing.
It's a pretty big disappointment for baseball.
I don't understand that deal. Yeah.
No, I don't either.
And it seems like they hired good baseball people. That Derek Jeter, they hired that other person she's really talented, and it just seems like it doesn't work. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just not working.
Yeah.
And I know people say, well, there's other things to do there. And it's too nice outside. And I hear all those arguments, but it doesn't stop people from Vegas.
Well, Josh,
game. It doesn't stop New York City from supporting two teams.
Who crushes attendance every single year? It's not even close.
The Dodgers?
The Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's 70 degrees outside every day. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I don't buy any of those arguments. I don't know what the issue is in Miami. It might be a cultural thing, but I think it's something that an ownership group down there has to figure out. And I think that's another big struggle for baseball as a whole. And I think that's why they to take it even bigger.
I think maybe things like the World Baseball Classic will help with that.
I think the World Baseball Classic could help with that. I think baseball is doing a better job than they've ever done with making players the face of the game and pushing players out there. Yeah. I think they tried this to solve Miami when they put that jazz guy on the cover of the show.
Chisholm, yeah.
And he kind of flamed out.
And then he was traded to the Yankees.
Yeah. So that didn't work out. But I think
maybe now they have Cotton Orby and Kyle Stowers. Maybe it'll work out now.
Maybe not those guys, but I think you're going to see more of a Latin culture push down there with the players.
And have you been to a game down there?
No.
They're already, like, in terms of who they kind of market to.
Good. You have to down there.
Every person who's an attendant is bilingual. There's all these kind of Cuban stuff down there, heritage, and so that's I think they really do a good job marketing to the Latin community.
And I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I think
there's too many people in Miami. They have to. Yeah.
Right, they'll figure it out. I think they screwed up when they took the ugly statue and took it out of the center field.
Well, and they have a history there too, Josh, of blowing up their teams, right?
Yes.
Like signing guys to contracts and then trading them all away.
Yes.
What it was, yeah. So anyway.
I think that'll straighten out. The only other thing with the Orioles that they announced today is they announced that the full orange uniforms are coming back starting April 11th. And you know I love them. You don't care.
Yeah. I don't care, but I like orange. Good. Satus just found out his spring ball team is going to be a Met. So
I don't mind that.
And it could be worse. Could be another New York team.
Exactly.
So, all right, you ready to get out of here?
Let's go.
Another reminder, listeners, go to section336.com store and purchase some O's tickets for May 4th.
We want to see you there May 4th.
Yeah, to sit with us. Should be fun. And in the meantime, if you're not going to do that, the very least you can do is go to Apple Podcasts and write us a review and share the show with the friends as we gear up for the regular season. You can follow me on X at Section336. You can follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.